G'day Bomber fans, I've had some comments asking me to talk about our future, a future team in 5 years, some said. I thought I'd do it a bit differently and talk about our youth by putting together a little 22 of players aged under 23. Now these players are 23 at the time of filming or under, and I was filming a while ago. I may have gotten some slightly wrong because I threw this together pretty quickly while packing for a trip, but let's get into it. We start with our deepest zone, fullback, and now it's very tall, yes, but that's because we don't have a lot of small defensive coverage with our young players. In fact, before the draft, we genuinely had none. It's why we went so hard at those rebounding defenders. So we start here with Nick Cox. I think all of us want to see Cox succeed because he could be a nuts player, someone that tall and mobile and good by foot or both feet. It's a dream come true. We trialled him in defense last year and he showed bits and pieces. His long arms were handy when spoiling. I'd love to see his confidence rise in the coming years to attack the footy and clunk, make him a dangerous attacking defender in the air. Fullback, Zach Reed, same age as Nick Cox, same draft. He has huge praise internally. Many think he could be a real player for us. We just need to see him get out on the park consistently, play more footy, AFL or VFL, just play footy. He has the capabilities to be a player. He is growing more and more with muscle. He is the one from this back six I'm most excited / nervous about for the future. Now Kane Baldwin, I see him as a Jaden Laverty clone, undersized key forward turned undersized key back. He has the muscle to lock down on a forward, not much taller, but also mobile enough to move freeishly on ground level, and something we all noticed late last year, he's a good ball user. He can drill a kick. I'm keen to see that more if he plays AFL. I'm not sold on him for the future yet. He has 1 year left on his contract. It's a hard back six to break into, so he's really under pressure. Alright, our next zone, we have 0 debutants here, all gameless, all drafted either this year or last year. We will start with the smalls. Luman Lawal, I love this kid. I've spoken about him a lot on this channel this year. He was taken at pick 39 in the draft, super quick, super aggressive. He loves to run, loves to carry. He's so exciting to watch. Needs a bit of work on his ball use, but he has defensive capabilities and, more importantly, an attacking mindset. Archie Roberts, another recent draftee, All-Australian for his Champs campaign. Also quick, also attacking minded, but that left boot, it's a dream come true for midfielders wanting to link up. He's so clean with ball in hand, defensively less accountable than Lawal, so we'll see how they work on their weaknesses in the VFL this season. And finally, Lewis Hayes, I really enjoyed watching him in the reserves. He had some brutal games on some big, strong forwards. That's his weakness, his lack of muscle, but he is great at reading the flight of the ball. Like Nick Cox, he has those long arms that you can't think can reach a spoil, but somehow do. He improved a lot from the start of the year to the end. I'd love to see him improve even more in 2024. He isn't a similar player to Ridley, but I can see his career trajectory hopefully having the same outcome. We saw Rids improve consistently in the VFL until he exploded, so let's hope the same happens with Hayes. Onto the midfield, I really like this zone. This is a fun one. All first team players, I'd say. We start with Nick Martin, not really much to say. I don't know how this kid slipped through to us as an SSP recruit. Just mind-blowing to me. Such an impressive winger, moves the ball into dangerous areas by foot so well, runs really hard. He was amazing in just his second year at the club. He gets another preseason to improve on his game and make us fans even more excited. I'll go to the other wing, Xavier Dersma. I get if you have Durham, it's hard to know before we see them both who will get that first team spot, but Dersma has shown more at Port, played more, had more of an impact forward of the ball, lends a hand down back, and he's obviously still young, if he is in this video, obviously. Not near his athletic peak yet. And finally, Jai Caldwell, another still yet to hit his peak, but since he came, I feel like he hasn't been what we wanted him to be, at least in his first year and a half. He struggled to settle in a bit, and then we saw him really improve. I want to say during 2022, he became a really target-oriented player with ball in hand. He doesn't get 25 to 30 touches a game. He gets 15 to 20, but makes things happen when he gets the ball, which I love. And his defensive work in the guts is great as well. I think he's one that needs to bridge his best and worst together a bit, but I like what I'm seeing. He had a very good season for us in 2023. Onto the engine room, Nick Bryan in the ruck. He has recently signed a 2-year contract with us, showing we definitely want him for the future. He could be an important player for us if he teams with Drapes. Not your crash and bash type ruck, that's Draper, but this is a classy around the ground mover. He has good hit out numbers, but I like him moving forward. He uses the ball well for a ruck. I'm excited to see how he develops because I think him and Draper could be a good partnership. Onto the midfielders, Archie Perkins. He's technically not a full midfielder right now, more of a midfielder forward, but our forward line's a bit too much for the future, and all of our young midfielders, he's probably one of the more experienced ones in the middle of the ground. He played there a lot in 2023, and plus, when he's at his peak, I see him splitting midfield time with forward time regularly. Those strong hips will make him hard to tackle. And Ben Hobbs, we all love this guy. He's shown heaps in his first 2 seasons. He's really gutsy, gets in and under, but also has really clean hand skills, which makes exiting a pack good. Still only 20, so plenty of time in our 123 team for Ben Hobbs. Alrighty, so half forward, Nate Caddy, our new recruit. I have him straight in there as our third key forward. He's really mobile, which makes him a good one to push higher up the field, but also really dangerous around the sticks. We love to have him there. I'm keen to see if he plays much in 2024. He's got really sticky hands, which will make him an asset, or probably more for the future. Harrison Jones, he's under pressure now with Caddy there in the senior team. He's set here for the under-23s, though. I still think there's something there with Jones. I want to see him play more. He's lean still, but he leaps really well. He's a terrific timer of his jump. Great hands. He showed so much in 2021, but injuries really ruined 2022 and 2023. He couldn't get a good run. Hopefully 2024 is different. And Tex Wangadeen, he probably isn't going to be with us for much longer if he keeps playing in the VFL. He's showing he has the ability to turn games around in the reserves. Just needs to break into that senior team. He's very classy, very creative, just goes missing a bit too much. Deep up forward, Jai Menzies, forward pocket. The guy is a first team player right now for us. He is right up there for us in the under-23 squad as well. He is a consistent performer, regularly applies pressure. He's good for a goal a game. It's what you want from a role playing small forward. He can only get better as well. He isn't going to kick a bag anytime soon. He doesn't have that in him, but you can trust him to play his role every week he plays. Full forward, Jaden Hunter. Haven't really seen him yet. He played one really promising VFL game, kicked 4 goals, and then got injured. That was big though, the fact he kicked a small bag in his second game in a new environment. We'll see him grow with time as well. I like that we kept him over Voss. I think he's got more to offer. And Alwyn Davey Jr. in the other pocket, he showed plenty. That was about as good as we thought he could be. Keep in mind, he's still a twig. He's very young, very underdone. Once he builds some muscle and confidence, we'll see him continue to show signs. I'm hoping he starts through the VFL in 2024 so we can tear some games apart. Maybe even in the midfield where he played in his junior years. Alrighty, so on the bench, Elijah Sartas. That shows how big our midfield is going to be. I just think Perkins earns a spot above him right there, and Sartas isn't a forward like Wangadeen. So Sartas on the bench, rotates straight into the midfield. Sam Durham, he's really unlucky not to be in this best 18. He's on the bench. Shows how good our wing stocks are, though. The guy's one of our most consistent players at the club, really. I think he was top 10 in the Crichton. Again, I just prefer Dersmer as a player from what I've seen in the early football career. The other two players are less proven. Jaden Davey hasn't even played a VFL game yet. He obviously had that big knee reconstruction. He's a natural small forward, not a midfielder like his twin. So when he plays, we'll see him in a pocket. And finally, Vigo Vicentini, the big ruckman we just drafted through the rookie draft. He's going to take a lot of time to get going in his career, but he is our last under 23-year-old. All right, so the team as a whole, here it is. Clearly a few zones and positions that need work for the future. Our midfielders are right across the board. You'd probably want one more star name in there, though. I look at North Melbourne, for example. McKercher, Wardlaw, Sheasel, LDU. Actually, LDU's a bit older, but they'll all play there. It's miles ahead of ours right now. But they've also been gifted 2,000 first-round draft picks by the AFL, so you would expect them to have a good young crop of players. I also think our forward line's a bit iffy. Wanganeen, Hunter, they might not be on a list next year. Down back, Baldwin's under pressure. We haven't seen 3 of them down back, so there is a bit here we still need to see more of, but I don't mind it. We have a decent list as it is, a decent young list, and it's improved over the trade and draft period in my eyes. Let me know what you think down below, though. But that is all for now. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and obviously subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as always, go Bombers.